Hey there, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. On the 27th day of John Locke, Moff just gave to us Chair Hell. That's right, even chairs are a symbol of sad mutual pining now. How is it possible that everything is a symbol? I can't even drink a glass of water these days without falling in love with my best friend and dying. And now here's Cara with more.
Hey guys, I'm Cara, confirmed John Locke on Tumblr, and I'm here today to go over Sherlock and John's gay chairs with you. This isn't going to go super in depth because otherwise I'll talk all day, but basically, Sherlock's chair represents Sherlock and John's chair represents John. And together the chairs represent their emotional and relationship journey. And throughout the entire series, the gay chairs follow the relationship and give us insight into their emotional states. The first time John comes to 221B, he immediately sits down, and from that moment on, that chair represents John. Later in the study in pink, Sherlock and John sit across from each other for the first time. From that moment on, the black leather chair symbolizes Sherlock, and the other chair symbolizes John. They're separated by a chair with Jennifer Wilson's suitcase on it, aka the case, and they're still not fully comfortable with each other. Sherlock especially is jumpy in his chair, showing his insecurity that John will think badly of him. In the Great Game, John is shown sitting in Sherlock's chair. This is very unusual. By taking Sherlock's place, John is positioned as the more knowledgeable one in this scene, since he knows about the solar system and Sherlock doesn't. However, it also represents John's growing love for Sherlock. Later that same episode, John is willing to die for or with Sherlock. In the opening of A Scandal in Belgravia, John is very comfortable and happy with his life in 221B with Sherlock, and he's shown sitting in his chair listening to the cases as Sherlock paces around. The Geek Interpreter case, which we've shown to be a reference to TJLC, catches Sherlock's interest and causes him to lean over the back of John's chair to look at the blog entry as John is sitting there. This is a brief moment, but it's the first instance of chair sharing in 221B. Chair sharing in this case represents a romantic relationship. Here, it's just a tiny whisper, but we'll see it again more explicitly later. In the openings of the Hounds of the Baskerville episode, we see Sherlock writhing around in his chair with a harpoon, and that's exactly what you think it is. He's very sexually frustrated.
John, I need some. Get me some.
Thanks, Moff. And then the fun's over and it's time for pain. During the Reichenbach fall, when Moriarty comes over and threatening and causing problems, Sherlock sits in John's chair. Moriarty is aware of his feelings for John and will use those to hurt them both later.
So how are you going to do it? Burn me.
Oh, that's the problem. The final problem. Have you worked out what it is yet?
This all feels very wrong to watch. By sitting in Sherlock's chair, Moriarty is invading their dynamic and turning everything on end. He'll continue to invade even after his death and show up where he isn't meant to be, since he represents Sherlock's fear of loving John. Then, at the end of this episode, comes one of the saddest shots of the entire show. John sitting barefoot, alone in his chair, facing Sherlock's chair and knowing that he's gone. In this moment, it represents the memory of his dead best friend, which is fucked up. When John returns to 221B in the empty hearse, he gazes longingly at Sherlock's chair, obviously missing him, since, as we know, the chair equals Sherlock. A similar shot is used in The Sign of Three, when Sherlock gazes at John's chair just before the wedding. This is perhaps the most blatant instance of John's chair symbolizing John, and also makes me want to die inside. During the stag night, we are treated to that extended scene of John and Sherlock, together one last time in their respective chairs, which were pulled even closer than ever, close enough for their legs to touch, and they get so close to something happening that it's torturous to watch, but they aren't quite there yet. After the wedding, in his last vow, we're shown that John's chair has been moved out of the room just as he moved out of 221B to be with Mary. Which again, ouch. We see that John's very hurt by this, because the implication is that John's no longer a part of Sherlock's life, which is only supported by the behavior of Janine and Sherlock. In a scene that feels so wrong, Janine shares Sherlock's chair, and it's just as fake and uncomfortable as their entire fake romantic relationship. She couldn't sit in John's chair because being a replacement for John was never an option. Also in his last vow, we see that Sherlock returns the chair after he, gotten shot by Mary and ended his fake relationship. Sherlock and John are reunited in 221B for the months between John finding out that Mary shot Sherlock and the scene at Christmas, so both of their chairs are there. Mary is given the chair meant for problems and cases. and people who sit there only exist for the purpose of the plot and disappear soon enough.
The people who come in here with their stories. The clients, that's all you are now, Mary. You're a client. This is where you sit and talk, and this is where we sit and listen. Then we decide if we want you or not.
On to The Abominable Bride. One of the promo pictures we got for the special was especially incriminating because we see John sitting on the arm of Sherlock's chair. The only time that pose is actually used in the episode is when Mary sits on the arm of John's chair as his wife. We know this is all just Sherlock's drug-induced fever dream. Actually, we knew that like weeks before the episode even aired, but clearly he still believes Mary and John are in love with each other. Since this is a dream, however, this is just Sherlock's messed up perceptions and insecurities. And since sharing a chair represents a romantic relationship, and the entire Victorian part of that episode is Sherlock fantasizing, what does that tell us about the promo picture where they share a chair that looks like a combination of Sherlock's chair and John's chair? More recently, we've gotten a promo video of Sherlock and John facing each other in a flooded 221B. We haven't gone over how water represents emotions yet, but we know that they'll be back together and forced to confront their feelings in 221B during Series 4. We've also got a promo picture where they're the only two characters seated and making eye contact, which supports this. Get excited for what's yet to come, because in Series 4 they'll sit together in their chairs once more, except this time they'll finally figure it all out.
5 days left until Series 4 comes out. Bye!